All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where as you know, here at Altcoin Daily, we bring you daily videos on everything altcoin, everything cryptocurrency. And today, the crypto company we are talking about is Cortex, artificial intelligence on blockchain. And full disclosure, this is a paid review. But to be clear, and I tell any crypto company that emails me this, they are not paying me to shill their crypto. They definitely didn't pay me enough to do that. They're paying me for my time and time on our channel. And really, you guys need to appreciate that because this is my promise to you. Altcoin Daily will always be upfront with paid reviews. And in that regard, that's why we're better than some other crypto YouTubers. I think one of the main differences between us and Superman is that we tell you when we're getting paid, and Superman doesn't. And I know you guys appreciate that. So, without further ado, let's talk about Cortex. And this is an opportunity, guys. Let me enlighten you on a cryptocurrency that I wouldn't have otherwise talked about, and you wouldn't have otherwise known about unless they paid me to take the time to research them. And actually, I found them pretty interesting, and I think you guys are going to find them pretty interesting too. And I think as I was reading their white paper and researching this, I think I understand why they asked us at Altcoin Daily to do a review on them. It's not only because of our great reputation, it's really because, you guys know, at Altcoin Daily, we take cryptocurrency and we make it easy for the everyman to understand. And Cortex, highly technical. This is their white paper, highly complex. It's a highly complex, operation white paper that's talking about bringing artificial intelligence onto blockchain. And their website is almost as plain and uneventful as their white paper is complex and challenging to understand, for me personally. So of course, they would contact us and ask us to break things down for everybody. I mean, honestly, when I was just trying to read their white paper, for me, it was like if somebody plopped an artificial intelligence college textbook right down in front of me and asked, so yeah, what do you think about all this? I mean, I didn't know how I was going to review this as I was reading the white paper. And basically what I'm getting at is what I really found value in was when I was researching, was when I searched for interviews with the CEO, this guy right here, ziqi Chen. I like this guy. It wasn't until I started listening to ziqi Chen talk about Cortex that I really got a sense of this company and his passion. And actually what they're doing, it's pretty interesting and there is a need for it. This crypto, it might actually be maybe pretty valuable someday. I'll introduce it to you and you be the judge. So let's get into it. And if you guys appreciate me being straightforward and breaking things down, hit the like button right now. That helps us grow as a channel. All right. Cortex. Cortex wants to bring artificial intelligence to the blockchain. And let's really try and break this down and understand more about Cortex by figuring out the problem that Cortex is trying to solve. And like I said, I got a lot of information directly from the CEO, directly his words. And so the problem that Cortex is trying to solve, to put it simply, you guys are familiar with Ethereum and Ethereum's smart contracts. We know that although Ethereum's smart contracts, they're game changers, they do have scaling issues. We know that the Ethereum network, it gets bogged down easily. So, looking towards the future, we know in its current state, Ethereum is just not powerful enough to execute any AI programs. AI programs, they're a whole different beast. It's more than a program. I mean, it's way more interesting than a program. It's machine learning. And the problem that Cortex is trying to solve is they want every smart contract that needs it to be able to execute AI computations. And to do this, they're focusing on increasing the computing power so that AI can run on Ethereum and run on smart contracts. So to be clear guys, they are not solving Ethereum's scaling issue. They're just solving one part, a very specific issue, which is increasing computing power on blockchain nodes. So let's expand on this. What do we mean Cortex is going to bring artificial intelligence to smart contracts, but they aren't solving Ethereum's scaling issue? What do we mean by that? Well, think about it like this. Let me draw some parallels with another technology, the iPhone. You guys know older generations of technology, they sometimes need new tech patches to stay updated. For example, take your mobile device. Let's take the iPhone. iPhone, one of the most popular smartphones in the world. And I don't know if you guys know, but the most current generation of iPhone, the iPhone X, now has a face detection feature to unlock your phone. And this is big technology. To do this, your phone needs to be able to recognize every single pixel of your face, and that requires substantial computing power. Yet, before that, the previous generation had a feature where you could use fingerprints to unlock your phone. And before face detection and before fingerprint detection, the only way to unlock your phone, as we are all very familiar with, is a password. So, you understand that each time new technology is introduced, the computing power needs to increase to match the new technology. So, check this out. The password feature is like the current state of smart contracts. And smart contracts will need to be upgraded eventually so they can handle AI and handle that computing power. So, you guys get this, right? Back in the day, when you wanted to unlock your phone, you typed in your password on your iPhone, and the CPU verified the outcome. Now, in the next generation, when the iPhone integrated the fingerprint detection, it couldn't run on the original CPU alone. It required a separate sensor chip so that it could run on the CPU. Now, in the most current generation, the iPhone X, that now has the ability to run face detection. But unfortunately, to go from fingerprint to face detection, the CPU of your phone, it just can't compute this kind of data. Therefore, the iPhone X needed a special chip to do the work. The special chip was designed for face detection to handle that computing power. So, that was the parallel. Cortex is making the special infrastructure that's needed for smart contracts that will allow it to compute the data necessary to run AI. Whew! You guys following? This is the CEO, and this might be the CTO. I'm not exactly sure. These are two high ups on the team. I like this interview as well. But anyways, all this, it leads to the question, is it the right time to start an artificial intelligence project on the blockchain? Is it smart to do this before Ethereum solves their scaling issue? Well, this is directly from the CEO's mouth. In his view, the answer to this question is that there are so many developers getting into this growing industry that it is inevitable that the scaling issue will be solved eventually. It's inevitable, according to ziqi Chen. And when it is solved, Cortex is working. So, who is the target market for Cortex? Who is going to use their product? Really, any developer or company that needs to run artificial intelligence on their smart contracts will use Cortex's infrastructure. Interesting. Let's talk about use cases. And all these use cases I'm going to bring up, they do mention stuff in the white paper, but I'm going to be cluing you guys into the use cases the CEO is excited for himself. So, according to the CEO, the most promising and the most exciting use case is self-driving cars. He says, on the blockchain is very suitable for machine-to-machine transactions. And if you have two self-driving cars, let's say they meet at a four-way intersection, who goes first? Which car goes last? Well, maybe the first car will make a crypto micropayment to and pay the other car so that they will be able to go first. And how will the first car get priority? Well, it's just going to make inferences. It's going to use that AI, that machine learning, and then make a micropayment recorded on the blockchain. All right, so let's elaborate. Why does blockchain need artificial intelligence? Well, smart contracts are going to be made better with programs that are able to learn and make inferences. Likewise, why does artificial intelligence need blockchain? Well, blockchain is transactional, and you will need to make sure your transactions are secure and non-reversible. So, when your artificial intelligence machine is making inferences, you're going to feel secure that it's going to be on a blockchain. All right, let's talk about the token. How is the token, the CTXC, going to be used? Well, when you run a program, you will be consuming a lot of computational resources, and you will have to pay for that, and you will use their token as gas to use that computation power. So as more and more projects use Cortex, the token should increase in value. All right, let's talk about their roadmap real quick. I think maybe it's on, I think the roadmap is just on their white paper, I guess. Roadmap, just all you need to know is in Q1 of earlier this year, 2018, Cortex launched itself to exchanges. In Q3, the later part of this year, in Q3 of 2018, Cortex will be launching the test net for mining. And then in Q2 of next year, 2019, that's when miners are going to start mining work as soon as the mainnet launches. So Cortex's mainnet is not launching until 2019. A lot of time to research this company. Right now we see Cortex trading at 137, fairly new to the market. They reached all-time highs of about $2.40, and they had all-time recent lows at around $1.20. So, you know, this is definitely nothing that exciting is happening to Cortex in the next couple days. This is something that you guys should definitely check out their Twitter. Follow them, stay updated. I'm going to follow them right now. It's at CTXCB or CTXC blockchain. I'm going to leave links to all their stuff in the bottom of this video right here. And before I leave you, let me just say, check out their white paper they have tons of actual main goals that they're trying to do. But let me just quote you something right from the CEO's mouth. According to the CEO, actually in this interview, he says he's a very humble guy. I like this guy. Cortex will focus on our development to fulfill our promise to the community. He says way too many projects overpromise and underdeliver. Cortex will deliver our promise one step at a time. Also, he says, look forward to some fancy new decentralized apps within our community. That way, we will attract more developers to the Cortex community. Also, something pretty interesting, just a side note, more about use cases. I found this pretty interesting. He says the Cortex chain is a very good infrastructure for blockchain to compute biological data. He thinks that the Cortex chain is a very good infrastructure for blockchain to compute biological data. And he says maybe in the future, a far-off goal would be to input gene data, or DNA, into blockchain, and the computations could be very interesting. Wow, I mean, that is going to happen. To sum up, their team has 10 current members, 11 community developers, 7 advisors, and they are hiring. So yeah, for more information on these guys, check out the comments or check out the below this video. I'll leave all the links so you can safely research them. Yeah, tell me what you think about Cortex. I wouldn't have even known about this project unless they had contacted me to do a review of their video. All right, thank you guys very much. See you tomorrow.